Developing now, crime is rearing its head in Camden. Just ahead, hear from the city's police chief on what's being done to combat the problem. Plus, flames are wreaking havoc on parts of Northern California. In minutes, we share some of the jaw-dropping video as fire crews work to contain the blaze. And the Imagination Library is making sure kids are getting in their extra reading time. We share their newest special milestone later in the show as THV 11 at noon starts right now. Thank you for making THV 11 your home. I'm Mackailyn Johnson. Starting us off, the Secretary of State's office is done counting signatures for the abortion amendment. This afternoon, the numbers are in less than 48 hours after an Arkansas Supreme Court ruling forced the petition signatures to be counted. The measure was initially thrown out due to what state leaders call a submission error. Hours ago, we learned unpaid volunteers gathered just over 87,000 signatures. However, the Secretary of State is still working to find out whether an additional 900 signatures were actually collected by volunteers. And a reminder, the proposed abortion amendment would need more than 90,000 verified signatures before claiming a spot on November's ballot. Arkansas for Limited Government is the group behind the amendment and say their paid canvassers collected more than 14,000 signatures. Those, however, were thrown out because of missing paperwork. Looking ahead, we're waiting to see if the state Supreme Court will allow those signatures to count. In the race to the White House, presidential hopefuls are familiarizing themselves with world leaders. Natalie Brand is in Washington ahead of Trump's meeting with Israel's prime minister.
It's an honor to have you with us.
Former President Donald Trump is meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago, their first face-to-face talks in nearly 4 years.
Welcome, Mr. Prime Minister.
It comes a day after Netanyahu visited the White House, meeting separately with President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Let's get the deal done so we can get a ceasefire to end the war.
The Biden administration is dialing up pressure for the Israeli prime minister to close a ceasefire deal that would also bring hostages home. The vice president and likely Democratic nominee outlined her vision.
It is time for this war to end, and end in a way where Israel is secure, all the hostages are released, the suffering of Palestinians in Gaza ends, and the Palestinian people can exercise their right to freedom, dignity, and self-determination.
National polls show Trump and Harris already running neck and neck, just days into her candidacy.
She's a San Francisco radical.
Friday morning, Harris received an endorsement from former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
As Trump adjusts his focus from Biden to Harris, the vice president is calling for a debate.
I have agreed to the previously agreed upon September 10th debate. He agreed to that previously. Now it appears he's backpedaling, but I'm ready.
In a statement late Thursday, the Trump campaign said debate details cannot be finalized until Democrats formally decide on their nominee. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Hello again, happy Friday. It's a fairly cloudy day out there across central Arkansas, and we are tracking a few spotty showers and thunderstorms. Now as we continue through the evening, rain coverage developing to our south and moving northeast through the state will be possible again, just mainly spotty to scattered in coverage. Across the metro right now, we're not seeing much in the way of rainfall, so if you have any lunch plans, you can try to head out as soon as possible because more rain will be developing in the afternoon. Here's a check-in of what we're expecting. So between now and around that 4 o'clock time hour, that's when we could see more of the spotty rain coverage here in the metro. Extending through the evening, just more overcast skies and then more rain starting to develop after midnight tonight. Highs today are peaking in the lower to middle 80s, and we've got some more 80-degree days ahead of us before we really see the heat settle back in. I'll give you more details on what's to come in that 7-day outlook, so make sure you stick around.
Simone, thank you. Back to school season is upon us, with just more than 2 weeks left until students in Little Rock are back in the classroom. In a meeting last night, the Little Rock School District discussed potential changes you can expect when school is in session. The superintendent urging parents to check in with schools to learn about their start and end times and specific events. With new LEARNS mandates in place, the district will work to ensure goals are being met.
And so any child that falls below a certain point, LEARNS now mandates that we have a success plan that is in place for every child who does not meet the qualifying score.
Student handbooks are also seeing a major change this year. As far as phone usage, parents and faculty can voice their opinions throughout the first semester. And college students will soon be able to dive into a new career field as Lyon College prepares to open their brand new dental school. It'll be the first of its kind here in the state and will sit at the previous Blue Cross Blue Shield building in Little Rock. Before now, Arkansans had no choice but to attend dental school out of state. We're hearing from some of them who say a move like this was much needed for the state.
Arkansas needs the dentist, just with the rural community that's basically throughout the whole state. They really need the dentist to spread out, and I think it'd be good for the state.
The new school would also make for a much cheaper option for people wanting to pursue a career here in the state. Today, we have an update on a story we first told you about yesterday, right here at noon. We can confirm a man is now dead following a 4-hour standoff with Arkansas State Police in Devall's Bluff. According to a statement sent by ASP, things took a turn when the gunman allegedly shot at police first. His identity still has not been released at this hour. We do know he is from Little Rock and was wanted on several felonies. Today, state police and the FBI are working to find out what went wrong and why shots were fired in the first place. And in Pine Bluff, police are cracking down on repeated copper thefts. This year alone, there's been at least 46 incidents of stolen copper in the city. According to Mayor Shirley Washington, 3 arrests have already been made. While police seem to be making progress with stopping this, there's still plenty more to be done.
We will and have continued to collaborate with AT&T and other stakeholders to enhance our preventive measures and strengthen our response.
Thieves may be tempted to sell stolen copper for cash, but detectives say there's been nearly $400,000 worth of damages. And we turn now to an unfortunate news story. Well-known Camden police officer Elsie Buckshot Smith has passed away at the age of 95. Buckshot retired last year and was the oldest working police officer in the state of Arkansas. Camden Police Department sharing the news on social media, acknowledging his commitment to the community and the impact he's leaving behind. Buckshot's career was one that saw a decades-long lifespan and drew in tons of attention. And sticking with Camden, as meanwhile, there's been a recent uptick in crime there. 2 weeks ago, there was a stabbing, and 1 week after that, 2 homicides. The chief of police now on high alert, saying back-to-back incidents isn't typical and says it's causing more problems for an already understaffed police department.
Something that we're trying to address. We have some vacancies. We hope to hire at least 2 within the next week or 2 to get those started.
At this time, the recent incidents are reported as isolated and are not connected. If you happen to sense danger, you're urged to call police. And new this afternoon, we're getting an exclusive look at plans to put up the new Central Fire Station in North Little Rock. These images were sent to the THV 11 newsroom, giving us an idea of what the Central Fire Station will look like and where it'll be. The city tells us they're excited about what's to come, and it'll be located on 13th and Main Street in North Little Rock and will include a baby drop box. It's all expected to be done by December of next year. Something else to watch out for, the Arena League will soon welcome a new football team to Hot Springs. Hours ago, we learned they'll be known as the Hot Springs Wise Guys, that name chosen directly by the people.
it's not about us, it's about this community. We want people to have a name that they can stand behind and be proud of. So we ran an awesome Name the Team contest, got close to 1,000 people in the community to submit entries, and it was very clear, like 4 out of 10 were something to do with the history of the gangsters, the mobsters that enjoyed our city all those years ago. So it became clear to us we got to focus around that area.
Season tickets for next summer are live as we speak. You can lock them in by finding this story on THV11.com. Southwest Airlines changing the way you fly. Coming up, more on their newest seating option and how it'll affect you. Simone?
And some spotty showers and thunderstorms could be possible through the afternoon as highs climb to the lower to middle 80s. I have a look at the weekend ahead in that 7-day outlook, so make sure you stick around.